Welcome back, everybody, and we're here with Gary Anthony, world-renowned Frank Sinatra impersonator. And so during the first segment, you saw the flyer to American Trilogy, where you can buy tickets to go see that awesome event at South Point. And so you have some more dates that you're going to share with us, right?
Well, you know, in my business, I'm pretty much like a theatrical agency. I book conventions and theaters all over the world, and I'm having so much fun with the Rat Pack, with Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., and myself as Frank. Those are the most fun shows to do, especially with the characters I do them with. And these guys are just naturally them. Mm-hmm. So when you're up there on the stage, I'm enjoying watching them while I'm on the stage.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, because I was so into them, into Frank, Sammy, and Dean, and that whole Rat Pack era. But yeah, we'll be in Canada, but they'll be in October for all you Canadians. BC, mostly all BC, about eight different theaters in 10 days.
That's
so
amazing.
We'll be bouncing around up there in BC. Yeah.
And I know you gave your website before, but if you give it one more time, because as we talked before, you do a lot of corporate and private events.
Private events, private parties, whatever.
So if there's anybody out there that's going to have a party or a private event, or for your corporation offsites, anything, and you would like to have Frank Sinatra arrive to sing songs, how would they get a hold of you?
Well, you can get a hold of me through Facebook or majorep.com, and all the contact information is right there.
Okay, great. So I have a question, because we are going to ask this of all of our guests. So as I said it before, the whole purpose of our show is to kind of like highlight people in the community, kind of like get their why of what they do, which you've kind of answered already about Frank. But I'm curious, if you were not doing this, what would you be doing?
No. You know, this is the way I put it. I'd probably be a miserable oil tycoon.
Oh.
Frustrated oil tycoon. That's probably what I'd be
With lots
doing.
of money?
With lots of money, yeah.
Lots of money.
Exactly.
I don't know what I'd be doing. I am so happy to be doing what I'm doing. This is a thrill, and I've met a lot of Frank's closest friends, and I'm doing business with them too. I never met Frank. I never saw him live. I've met the family. They love what I'm doing. But, you know, what was I thinking in those days? I mean, not to meet Frank.
I was going to ask, how did that even happen that didn't, occur?
I kind of figured out I was always on the other side of the world, doing something in show business. But I thought about that later in life. I said, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
But I thank the Lord that I'm able to do this kind of thing. And it is just the most fantastic thing. I don't even want to stop. It's fantastic, and it'll keep going as long as Frank's such an icon,
Right.
that I can see I can go on for the next 15, 20 years.
You bring a lot of joy to people.
That's the key. That's the key, and bring back all those beautiful memories.
Right.
And that's what I do in my shows. That's what we do in our shows. Just bring back the memories, and just keep it that way. Just so happy. Everybody's always smiling in the audience. It's always a wonderful sight to see.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you have some questions?
I have a question for you. Do you ever have any trouble trying to change from Frank to who you are?
No,
I mean,
because every morning I wake up, I never know who I'm going to be. In other words, I could be Rodney.
yeah, there you go.
See? So I never know who I'm going to be when I wake up in the morning. No, I don't have any trouble.
Well, that's good to know.
I used to do Rodney in the early days, right after I broke up with the Allens. I would go into doing picture sessions, looking like the characters for magazines. And Rodney was always one of my favorites. And I got to meet him during my venues in Beverly Hills. And he was a really fun guy.
So, who part of the family, in Frank Sinatra's family, have you got to know?
Tina.
Tina?
Tina is, she's the business of that family. So she invited me to the Sinatra wine tasting thing a few years back when a friend of mine from New York introduced her to me with those videos that we just showed.
Right.
And he calls me up and says, guess what? I was talking to her for 2 hours and I'm sweating bullets. I said, just tell me what she says. She says she loves you.
Aw.
And she wants to meet you in Vegas. So when I went up to meet her, I was standing there waiting to talk to her, and she kept looking at me and looking. Okay. So I said, hi, Tina. I'm Gary Anthony. She says, wait a minute. I know you. And I showed her my picture, and turns me around to her husband. That's him. And then he turns me around to her daughters and say, who does he look like? I wasn't even made up. I mean, I said it was an honor, and she says, we love you. Keep it up. And
that's so nice.
I got to sit with them during the wine tasting at the Wynn Hotel, at the Sinatra restaurant.
Oh, yeah. That's a great place.
But they've been in touch with me since. That was a few years back.
It's very nice when you're like living your passion, which I think you are, I can tell,
Exactly.
right?
It is.
Yeah.
And then have that validated by somebody in the family, that
Right.
must have meant the world to you.
Right. It is. It means everything to me. That's why when I sweat those bullets, I was hoping she'd say what she did. But it's just a thrill and an honor, and I know it's a blessing. So
Definitely.
I just stay cool and just do my thing and make a lot of people smile.
That's awesome, Gary.
Yeah.
So what would you say, what is your favorite song to sing?
Everybody asks me that. They all are. But if I had to pick one, there's no more romance in flying. I mean, every time I get on a plane, they throw me off. I mean,
And you don't know why.
I sit down, hey, get out of here. But so the song that comes back that could bring that romance back for the moment, Come Fly With Me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that brings back the romance.
Yeah.
And in my shows, I discuss that. So when I sing it, everybody's, wow, come fly with me. It's just the most romantic song.
Right.
And so I just try to bring a little romance back to the show and back to reality
Yeah.
because it's lost.
So, Gary Anthony, are you a romantic person?
Do you like romance?
Because I know people.
Yes, she does.
I love romance. If she loves Sinatra and loves to be sung to, forget about it. I'm there.
Okay. Don't worry, I'll be your matchmaker.
You have a little bit to worry about.
Uh-oh. All righty then.
Well, it has been a pleasure having you on our very first show. And again, I'm just so thankful for your generosity, for your time to join us today.
No, thank you for having
Yes,
me.
thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It was great.
And we'll be right back after this break with some of our friends who have dropped in to say hey and just have a good time with us.